Welcome back. These previous highlights open like somebody handed a flamethrower to the intern and said, be yourself.
Clearly. I think Jimmy was over there fucking around with some gay porn, dude.
Jimmy's in a mood right now, man.
Jimmy got one monitor upgrade and immediately started acting like the building owed him hush money.
So Jimmy came to you on Friday, Johnny.
When did you join sides with the fucking Fudge Packers, dude?
Dude, did you see how fast you sped up to the front of the building, man? I was like, holy fuck, he's going fast. So, Jimmy needed a new monitor on Friday, so we got Jimmy all sorted with a brand new monitor on Friday, and ever since then, man, it's like there's a little edge in his step this morning, man. He's got a brand new opener. He's dropping crazy shit.
That is not an opener. That is a workplace fire alarm wearing sunglasses.
I don't know, man. Jimmy's something's in Jimmy's water, or else he's getting lots of life expectancy work on him. Could be that too.
There's something about being on the site of a live gay porn site. It changes a man.
Jon said that, like, he watched one browser tab turn into a personality disorder.
By the time Jimmy's done with us, he's gonna think, wait a minute, am I?
Jim, here's the thing. If you're gonna make me look like a fucking $3 bill, do it all the way. You know, give me looking like the fucking gimp climbing that thing. You know, I'll pull the fucking sawhorse out of the back of that truck, you know?
Jimmy says in the comments, love you, Jon. You give me clue where to get ideas. Brother, how the fuck are you, man? How was your weekend? How was the last couple days of just life?
All this fucking shit.
Coming up tomorrow with Briana Bass, negotiating conversations with your wife when she
wants.
The
cool thing about this, though, I gotta say, though, for jumping in, I'm already justifying. Because when you get a fucking hanger,
yes,
you got all this fucking, because the plane doesn't take up the corners. Well, you know, the two back corners don't, because the plane, you know what I mean, the wings.
Yes.
So that means I have fucking places to put some extra cars.
Aviation is already expensive, and Jon is treating the back corners like a garage sale with propellers.
Now it's starting to make more sense.
So Johnny, Nation, here's up on this one. Johnny's thinking about how he can park his plane in the hangar, but he's brilliant enough to think, hey, wait a minute. There's room underneath the wings to put more shit. So
no, not in the back corners, not under the
back corner. Well, listen, I did.
Oh my God, dude.
That is Jon entering paperwork voice. Something expensive is about to need adult supervision.
Yeah, no shit.
What's that fucking guy in? Is he some sort of a fucking gunny sack?
No, he's parachuting in the fucking airplane. Paraglider, and he survived, but the Cessna cut. So I got a few questions going on.
So did he employ another chute? What the fuck?
Yeah. So I don't. I think so. Hold on.
That plane was close.
That plane did not pass by. It auditioned for a lawsuit with wings.
Holy
Christ! I could have just fucking hit him dead on.
She deployed her reserve parachute. But Johnny, here's the thing that I say: why the fuck are they so close? So that happened up in Salzburg, up in Austria. But to your point, why are they so close? I don't know. Like.
Well, you figure like this, right? And I've kind of put myself in this position, you know, because I guarantee you, I'm not going to have the license Terry will. We get up high, I'm grabbing the fucking stick.
Never give Jon a confidence boost. Even the furniture starts asking for supervision.
Yeah, she'll be grabbing your stick too, and that'll be the next conversation with Briana Bass, myself, and yours.
I dig your shirt, baby.
What's that? Yeah, I know.
I know you would. Listen, no matter what you wear, dude, you're not fucking pulling me into your little fucking sicko group. I'm not coming in the middle of that thing. You can try all you want. You can fucking beg. You can wear all the fucking clothes you want. No.
I gotta tell you something, man. So
you two, if you two don't have vaginas, I'm not coming.
That line left the studio, got denied at customs, and still made the highlight reel.
You know, I had a... Jesus. There's something in our water this morning, I can already tell. I had to hold the fucking horses. Good morning, Lauren. I love you, my baby. Hold the horses, Anderson. We've been hanging out for a couple years on this show, Rouse, and you're just dropping now that you've seen cockfights, like in real life.
Keith just discovered Jon has a side quest folder labeled Illegal Chickens and Unresolved Bar Stories.
But I'm not talking about the kind of cockfights you and Bobo used to do.
No, but you go to a bar and there's chickens. Like there's actually chickens fighting in the bar.
Cocks.
Yes, I've seen them in movies, but you've actually witnessed them in real life. And then Matt, you've seen them in your chicken farm as well.
Yeah, I'm the fucking dead curse. If I fucking bet on one, what's gonna happen is the other one's gonna come flying across and fucking get him with that thing put that thing in his neck before my guy even gets into fucking air.
Is that how they kill them?
They put all this shit on their feet. They got these fucking like daggers and shit.
The chicken lore escalated so fast, I started checking the exits for livestock with ankle hardware.
I don't know. Really? I wasn't really paying too close attention. You know, one time I was in a position.
Into a wall or something. Chickens
break
are
his
not that
neck.
strong, right? Right.
See, that would be Keith and I.
You just find one sometimes.
He would
sometimes
fucking
you just find the dead chicken.
Keith and I would be, if he finally chested up and decided he wanted to fight for dominance, once I gave him one good lick, one good fucking crack, he'd take off running and fucking kill himself running into a fucking wall.
Keith and John and Matt, we're talking chickens this morning.
That sentence belongs on a mug, a police report, and one cursed public access schedule.
Well, you know, Terry actually...
Have John talk to me through it.
Well, you know, Terry has taught our dog sign language. Not a ton of it, but around food. Like, you know, she can basically hand signal for them to sit and wait and put the food down, and then she has another hand signal that says, "Okay, go eat."
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I've heard. Oh, that's.
And it took them a month or two to get it.
Yeah.
But they realized very quickly if they follow those directions, they get the reward. If they don't, the food goes up where they can't get to it, and they have to try again. Yeah. They don't fuck with that much.
No.
We'd be out, the contest is over, you know, out fucking partying, running around the fucking parking lots, picking up the back end of cars, setting off alarms. But the car thinks it's being towed.
Oh, Jesus, Murphy. And then we have Greek swimmer shattering through it.
Question. Sorry to interrupt you. This question is, I got the impression from John, and I'm going to ask the question for John.
Yeah.
At the recital, I'm sure it's beautiful, but did you have a tutu on with her?
No, I did not.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
You fuckers, both of you.
No, I'm never.
Like, what's going on?
The habits rub up on John to me. You know I never come for you, brother. But John.
See, here's the thing. He's a crafty little fucker. You got to position his question just right. Did you have a tutu on under your normal clothes?
Dwayne opened a trapdoor, then John walked in, wearing a miner helmet and carrying rope.
Okay, there you go.
See, now he doesn't want to answer that question. These poor motherfuckers are backstage rochambeauing on who gets to play with that thing first.
This is massive.
Yeah, that's a piece of meat right there.
That is a massive penis.
Wow.
That is like, I know the size of the elephant is big, but you see that, like, that is, it is a fucking leg.
If highlights this insane are your thing, watch the previous episode. The full show is up next. Bring witnesses.
Hey, Uncle Brian, what's the difference between chemistry and compatibility?
What? What kind of class are you at?
He's talking about girls, Uncle B.
Oh, dears, he can't help you with chemistry. Ask Briana.
What does a sexologist know about chemistry?
Only on Mornings in the Lab.
Good morning, nation. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and big conversations. Hey, Jimmy, you got a choice in life, no dick or dick growing on your arm. What are you choosing? Hey, did you guys know that you guys can lose your memory after going for a dump? Yeah, I learned that from Kai this morning. I'm the junior dinosaur. I'm the little T-Rex with the little arms. Yeah, there you go. Dwayne is absolutely a baby boomer. Dr. John's the bullshit professor. Kai's the shit professor. Briana, you're always teaching me, man, every single Tuesday. Nation, you will not find this kind of knowledge anywhere on the planet to start your day other than Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Boo. Hey, a spark can get your attention just like me right now, but it will not carry a marriage. No, it's not going to carry a partnership, and I'll tell you right now, it is not going to get anything done when life gets real. Yeah, that's where compatibility comes in. You got lust, you got some chemistry, you got some compatibility. You want to stick around forever, compatibility is the key. And that conversation coming up today with our good friend, Briana Bass. But first, hey, Seth Pepper's here today. Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Good morning, Holroyd. Good morning, Sullivan. Oh, I'm in a mood today. I am in a mood today. Kai's on the buttons. Jimmy's over there doing something. Not too sure what Jimmy's doing. Actually, I know what Jimmy's doing. We got Sarah's Let's Talk Supply Chain Thoughts and Coffee show this morning dropping. We got Jimmy on the buttons, we got Kai on the buttons, and of course we got our very own producer Neiman out there making sure the words sound as good as I look this morning. Yes, I said it. Good morning, everybody. Hey, this is your morning show for the nation that we call Generation X, Generation Ven, Generation Women. We all get together, we get up, get after it, and we like to help ourselves get our ass out of the bed with some positive energy and a little bit of momentum. And I can see right now that my face is pouring with sweat. Yeah. Hey, good to see Uncle Brian and Auntie Gladys this morning on the opener. Neiman, good stuff, man. For those of you that don't know, that is Brian and Gladys, my mom and dad. Yeah, true story. So I expect I'm going to hear from them later today, and I expect that I'm going to request for a royalty check because they seem to think that because people show up and watch their son act like a fool in the morning, that they will make money off that experience. And I'm not sure where that is in the trajectory of raising children. Yes, kid wakes up at 50, decides to become a YouTube host, and we're going to collect residuals off his ridiculous behavior as you witnessed during the morning. Yeah. Hey, standard reminder, guys, this is an R-rated experience. No, fuck it. It's an X-rated experience. Yep, true story. How do I know? Because Kai's here. Yeah, Kai is here, and she has brought the X-rated angle to our show. So guys, just a reminder, parents leave the room, kids, welcome to the big show that we call Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We get after every single morning, 7:30 Eastern time with our very own Matt Roof, who gets you everybody else started with some kindness. 7 o'clock, 7:30 to 8 o'clock, then we got ourselves with Keith and Johnny. Every Tuesday, we got Briana Bass. We're talking today, what is the difference between chemistry and compatibility? Let's quick tease it. You find yourself a hot chick, you find yourself a hot man, you're like, I gotta fuck that. I gotta get that. I gotta tap. And then that chemistry, that lust starts to turn into love, and then time goes on, and then are you compatible? Jimmy, are those two fat asses on the love seat compatible? That's what it comes down to. My big fat ass, your big fat, do we fit? You see, that's the thing. We go from lust to love to compatibility, and do they fit? Yeah, there we go. All right. That conversation. And of course, today, Seth Pepper. Seth Pepper's coming up on the show here today. Let's just see this here. Seth Pepper, the F switch that turns pressure into elite performance. Yeah, Sophia Grant's going to bring him in. Seth started swimming at 14. He became an All-American at 23, then an NCAA champion, international medalist. This guy knows what it likes to feel to come close to the Olympic dream. It's that close but no cigar. I need a fucking towel. Oh my God, do I ever need a towel right now? So I wonder how quick I can run over there to get a towel. Hey, I'm just wondering if we got a little something to play here. I know we can do. I got a good idea. Hey, Kai, let's do this. Let's just have a little fun this morning because I need a towel because my face is just dripping with water right now. Let's just get to the morning loop. We'll run that 20-second little transition. I'll get back and we'll keep opening up until Johnny gets here. So, Kai, let's do it. The morning loop. I got to get a towel. The morning loop, it starts. It starts right now.
Good morning, nation. Yesterday, John basically sent Jimmy into the internet's basement with a flashlight.
John told him, if you want to make me look like a $3 bill, research a gay porn site.
Jimmy heard. Research assignment accepted. Then open the new monitor like mission control.
He's clicking through questionable sites like he's building a federal case bout for John's weirdness.
Then his wife walks in like, what the hell are you doing? That man had 0 clean exits.
It's for John is the worst defense ever. That sounds guilty before the sentence is finished.
Now Jimmy looks suspicious. His wife is laughing, and the monitor needs holy water.
Briana's here, Jimmy. You need advice before that couch becomes your bedroom. Jimmy, clear the tabs and blink twice if you're safe. Morning loop starts now.
Oh my God, production's gone up. I am loving it. Woo, baby, Google, Gemini, Omni, what the fuck, whatever it is, come to life. The teams come to, that look like Johnny's hangar. Look like maybe Terry's plane. Yeah, oh my goodness. I can just see the quality of that. The quality of that actually is kind of putting me in the mood today. Yeah, I got a monologue you guys got to listen to at the bottom of the second hour. I got something to say to all my CEOs, all my leaders, all my business leaders out there that are got their heads stuck in the sand. And I'm actually kind of fucking tired of it. Yep, I've kind of went through a little bit of a moment in the last 24 hours around my value. And I'm tired of talking to CEOs that want to look that way when clearly the future and reality is right in front. I had a call with a dude yesterday, a few guys yesterday, and the theme was constant. It was, yeah, but agents. I'm like, dude, like agents are taking people's jobs. And if you as the CEO don't know that, then what are you doing? Like, honest to God. So listen, coming up, bottom of the second hour. I'm tired of carrying the CEOs. If you want my time's gone up. My value has gone up. My cost has gone up. Let's have a conversation because it's only. It all started yesterday when I read a good story with ClickUp. The CEO of ClickUp laid a bunch of people off and said, "Okay, the underperformers, thanks for coming out, but you're not welcome anymore." And then what he did, and I'm going to say this is all jest to my team because I'm not doing this. But what he did is he said to everybody, hey, to you, those that are high performers and paying you $1 million and go to town on your tokens. Like, dude, like that's just it. Like that is the future right there. To those that aren't leaning into that, you're going to get left behind pretty quickly. I'm going to have that conversation coming up at the bottom of the second hour. Hey, did you guys see Russell Crowe in the news? You know, there's many that are kind of bashing Crowe for his words that dropped over on X and some of the platforms yesterday as he was confronted by autograph seekers. And you know what, Kai, Jimmy, Melissa, he kind of strikes me as how Anderson would be. And I can't disagree with perhaps his approach. So we're going to show that coming up here today. We got some words of wisdom. Oh, yeah, we got our sheriff. We got our sheriff on the show here today. And you know what? I got a WTF that just Mikey kind of go, what is happening with that one? And of course, we got the daily poll. Yes, what's the hardest part of a long-term relationship to maintain? The romantic spark? Yeah. Aligned with your life goals? Or the deep emotional connection. Just think about it, right? You're with somebody for 10, 20, 30 years, your life changes, and you're asking yourself, geez, you know, am I still connected to the woman, to the man that had that spark back 30 years ago? And, you know, our life is changing. So what's the difference between chemistry and compatibility? And we're going to have that conversation coming up today with Briana Bass, of course, after Seth Pepper. And hey, guys, if you're snoozing, you know how we like to remind you on this one. And listen, I own this. So if you guys don't like me talking about snoozing, don't come to my show. But we own snoozing. And I'm just going to remind you, you are 1,300 minutes behind if you're tuning into my show right now and you snoozed. Yeah, so if you got up this morning and you're listening to us late and you snoozed, you're 1,300 minutes behind. You're actually almost 22 hours of your life laying there making no decisions other than wasting mother time. Yep, there you go. What's up, Petro? Good to see you out there, brother. Yeah, it's a sweaty one today. I did a 15-minute climb right before the start of the show. Today was legs day for me, so I crushed my legs, heavy squats, heavy deads, did some Romanian deadlift, some Bulgarian deadlift, and then did some lunges, and then my finisher today was a 15-minute climb. And it's funny because I almost hit a PR, and I had no intention of hitting the PR. But I got there, and the legs kept going, the resistance kept going up, and next thing you know, 15 minutes were done. The sweat was pouring, and I'm like, holy shit, I got to get into the studio. And the sweat just kept coming down. So, all right, we got Johnny Anderson joining us in a few moments. Of course, Seth Pepper is coming up at the bottom of the first hour. Seth is he started swimming at 14, became an All-American at 23, NCAA champion, and he's a high-performance mental coach, helping athletes, executive, and pressure-tested performers understand what he calls the F switch. Coming up today, Seth Pepper on the big show that we call Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends. Okay, well, listen, let's get after while we're bringing Johnny into the show this morning. I think, Kai, we're going to get after our first trending topic this morning. Big news in the world of sports. Yeah, sports. And listen, Kai, if you got a clip on this one, let's get into the trending topic this morning with the NBA. Oh, baby, there's something happening this morning. My fans from the NBA are waking up with something they haven't seen in how many? 25 years. Kai, let's run it.
Knicks back in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. 27 years. That's a whole adult life of waiting.
The waiting is the work. Most men don't lose to failure. They lose to quitting while the clock is still running.
If the Knicks can wait 27 years, you can wait 27 minutes before giving up on the gym, the marriage, or the comeback. What's yours?
I just saw the t-shirt. Hey, Dwayne. Adopt a boomer. Oh, there he is. Oh, and he's in white today. Oh, yeah, let's bring him in himself. The big dog. My brother from another mother, Jon Anderson. Yes.
That's a little more creative, Jim. Had a boy.
Yes, I've been encouraging the team to. We got some new tools last week. We got a new tool. Johnny, check this out, man. Look at the shirt. Adopt a boomer. That's Dwayne Whitaker's face.
That's Dwayne on there.
Well, last week after you left the show, I was joking about Gen Xers and baby boomers, and Dwayne's like, I'm the token boomer. So ever since then, I've given him the nickname. He's the token boomer with us on our show now. So we got a token boomer. His name's Dwayne Whitaker.
What's the definition of a token boomer?
Well, a baby boomer. So the generation above you and I. So your brother, I think your brother's older than you, right? Your brother 10 years older than you, I guess it is, right? So
yeah, he's like 12, 13.
Yeah. So he'd be considered a baby. Yeah, Dwayne's a baby boomer, so don't hold it against him.
Token meaning like he is the epitome. He's the perfect.
Like he's our one. Like it was over. There's 80,000 Gen Xers like you and I in the room. There's the one guy over there. There's our token boomer, which is Dwayne Whitaker hanging out with us.
If you asked me, I couldn't even tell you what generation I was till you started talking about.
Yeah, well, that's why we love each other. Yeah, you're a Gen Xer. So I'm leaning into it because clearly marketing and business reasons, because there's a whole audience out there of us that are like, wait a minute. Oh, you mean you guys talk like me? Yeah, we are you. We are all the same. Anderson this morning.
You broke up, brother. You broke up.
Sorry. I said I'm walking into the lab this morning in a little bit of a mood, and I'm thinking that my mood might be similar to the mood that you had as a young buck growing up, as you knew the secret to muscle building, which was eating lots of protein. And everybody kept saying, I'm just going to have some fun with you. Everybody kept saying, go in the left direction. And you're like, no, actually, I think it's the right direction. I'm going to keep going in the right one. They're like, no, it's the left one. You're like, no, I think it's the right one. And for so long, you're like, I'm going this way. And then as you keep going, you kept recognizing the value of your knowledge while everybody was going in the other way. And like, yeah, I fucking told you all. Dude, I had some conversations.
I wasn't taking the time to say I told you. I was trying to make more progress.
It was awesome. Yes. I love it.
I could give a shit about saying I told you. I was like, you just keep on saying what you're saying and leave me the fuck alone.
Well, dude, I love that because that's kind of the attitude I had this morning. I had a day yesterday with a bunch of business leaders, Anderson, that I'll just say this very loosely: heads in the sand. Like heads in the sand in the world of business and tech. And I'm not talking to you as a business leader tech-wise, because you know your place, you know your lane, and you're good with that. But I talk to some business leaders that are in kind of our, like this media type space and maybe more of a traditional business space. And I'm having this conversation with guys around agents and workflows and productivity and profitability and investing and just over the head. And I'm like, man, I guess because I know the answer. That's what it is, because I know the answer. Just like you, that's exactly it, Anderson. Just like you knew the answer, and at some point you're like, fuck it, I'm not going to tell anybody because I just know the answer.
Well, I think what it comes down to is it's at a certain point we're programmed to try to convince people or prove we're right.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, who fucking cares if you're right?
No, that's what it is.
I just want what I want.
Yeah, but you know what is so pal for me is I feel like I've been pulled by people that I keep. Maybe this little bit of a therapy session right now. I know the word. Maybe what it is here's what it is. I'm getting pulled by people who I keep walking folks to water and showing them the water to drink. They don't want to drink it. Then they keep coming back to me asking me if there's a better path to go to the water. I'm like, well, no, but I've showed you the water. And I guess what you're saying to me is stop fucking taking the person to the water. You've showed them to the water. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I keep showing you, but yet you keep coming back to me and asking me the same question.
Well, it's your fault for fucking re-engaging a second time.
You're right.
Yeah, you're the dummy.
Yes.
Because you know they're dummies. You're the dummy for continuing to waste your time on them.
No, you're absolutely right. I needed that fucking awareness this morning. That's exact. So it's funny because I got up this morning, I was getting some work done, getting ready for our show, and I rewrote my monologue, and I kind of needed that mirror moment that you just gave me right now. Yes, it's actually my fault. It's my fault because I keep inviting them back into that conversation with me.
Well, you think it's
But John, hold on. It's because, you know what it is, Opal? You said it though. It's because, and maybe you did this before passing the two. It's because I want to help. It's because I know you, I like you. I'm like, dude, here's the water. Go and drink it, man. I know it's going to help you. You know what I mean?
Why are you so concerned with helping people that don't recognize they need to be helped?
No, not a concern. It's just maybe a desire. And I hear you loud and clear. I'm not disagreeing.
Whatever adjective you want to put to it.
Yeah.
Again, it's comes down to, you've.
No, you're bang on, man.
It's very simple math. Nobody has to. You don't have to do anything.
Speaking of simple math, changing gears, I don't spend a lot of time in the NBA, but this is, I think, is worth getting to. So 27 years later, the New York Knicks are finally going to the NBA Finals. Dude, 27 years. That's a fucking lifetime for a fan.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of one of the games over the weekend.
Okay.
It was fucking cool to see Patrick Ewing in like the second row.
Yeah, you know what? I saw that clip too. It's funny how we can resonate with a player from so long ago. But yes,
he actually somehow got better looking. He was playing? That motherfucker had a face only a mother could love.
That's so true.
I mean, it was just part of it. He was just a fucking beast. It was like, what is this thing?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And he was aggressive. It was like, fuck, man. What the fuck is this? What the fuck did Satan fucking drop on the earth here?
So speaking of Satan dropping on the earth, Russell Crowe. Remember Russell Crowe, the Gladiator, big actor from years back. Right? I like Russell Crowe. So he's been caught up on the internet in the last 24 hours for some behavior that he had as he was exiting in a hotel. And I saw him. And his behavior reminded me perhaps of how you would be. And I don't mean this as a negative. I mean it as a compliment. Hey, Kai, let's run this clip, man. Watch Russell control these autographs.
Russell Crowe hit fans with the ultimate boundary. Follow the rules, I'll sign. Push me, we're done. That's crowd control and self-respect. Nothing says grown man energy like, you act right, you get access. Russell basically turned autographs into a lesson. Boundaries aren't rude, they're clarity. The internet's split, but here's the value. If you can't enforce simple rules in a crowd, you can't lead anything. Russell wasn't angry, he was managing.
Yeah, so here he is here, and watch this here.
Are you listening? Yes. Stay where you are. Don't fucking push in on me. I'll come to you. Put everybody's space. As soon as somebody's a dick, go. You got me?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
So he's being admonished by the internet because he set his boundaries. I think he did the right thing. It's like I suspect that's how I think you would be. You're like, no, here's the rules. You don't like it, fuck off.
Well, I mean, number one, I don't have the same type of fucking crowd control issues that Russell Crowe does. I mean, maybe walking. I mean, like walking outside a wrestling arena, yes, but he can walk out of any fucking building and have that problem.
Yeah, but my point though is I would suspect that you would handle it in a similar way, which is you put boundaries.
The only place, correct? Yes, but it was because I only had those situations where I could kind of predict them. That makes sense.
Oh,
so there was always security there, so I didn't have to deal with it. But very rarely would I find, like, if I'm coming out of a fucking Starbucks, I mean, I guess I'm lying. I guess there was a couple times where, I mean, and here's kind of an interesting thing, and here's why he does this. Interesting story. If he gets away from you, you're in fucking trouble. So the family comes to visit me in Mexico City, and so it was like a fucking Wednesday afternoon. We went to Six Flags, right?
Oh yeah,
we're going there when no one was there, so we wouldn't get fucking bothered by crowds. Well, at some point, somebody fucking, and of course I'm trying to fucking hide who I am. Not very easy to do. As soon as somebody fucking picks it out, the first camera phone goes off.
Yes.
It's almost like as soon as somebody sees another person take a picture,
100%.
they're fucking coming.
Yes.
And so they start fucking coming in, and I'm like, God damn it. So we just basically what we did is we went to a park bench. I'm gonna fucking be here for a little while.
Yes.
Went to this, I say park bench on the little walkways between
Yeah.
So I put the girls down, Terry Savlin, I'm standing there, and this fucking thing. So behind us, we can't get out because it's like hedges and shit, right?
Yes.
It's like one of those walkways where you have to tunnel through. This fucking thing just keeps building up. And I'm standing there fucking doing my thing.
Yeah.
And dude, it must have been fucking 15, 20 people deep all around me. And the girls are like, Daddy, I'm hungry. Daddy, I want to go to the ride. I'm like, we are fucking we're not getting out of here, because there was no fucking way I was getting them through that unless I fucking appeased all these bastards.
What does that feel like?
I mean, honestly, the first time it happened, it was pretty fucking surreal. I was like,
well, I'm sure. Yeah.
But then when you start to realize the potential danger that comes from this, you just fucking do what you got to do to let these people have what they want. So another situation that will kind of show the danger, right?
Yeah. Tell them about that.
So it's actually kind of a small arena. It was like a 10,000 seat arena. But it was really one of those really fucking hot arenas. Everybody's fucking having a great time drinking and shit. And Terry was there with me, and I was on the semi, not the main. So I told her before I went back in the locker room, I said, listen, as soon as the main event gets started, I'm going to, basically come meet me here at the locker room door. And then I'll basically kind of be peeking out, so I can hear the crowd heating up. They'll be looking at the ring. We'll sneak out the back, because all I had to do is the locker room door to the door we had to get out to get to the tour bus was fucking 40 feet tops. Right.
Yeah.
So she's there waiting, and I peek out. There she is. So we go, and I grab her, and we start fucking hustling. But now keep in mind, it's a 3-decker. So we're like on the second deck.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But that row is right behind us, or right in front of us. Some fucker sees me come out of there, and they start pouring over the back of this fucking thing. And it's like, and this is the first time Terry had ever experienced it. She started fucking freaking out. So I mean, literally, they were coming in to the point where they're flown over the top of this fucking thing, and I had to literally take my hands, put it on the fucking wall, right,
dude,
put Terry right here, because they were pushing us against the fucking wall. Yeah. And then obviously security came and fucking got him away, and we got out.
Wow.
I got in fucking trouble for that, dude.
Well, yeah, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but you're John Anderson, you're not Dwayne Johnson, or you're not. So to your point, you talk about safety. So I hear you're saying, I can't even imagine what you gone through, and you talk Russell Crowe or The Rock or something like that's a whole other level, isn't it? Like, you need security.
Well, so a guy like Russell Crowe, and he's like, okay, listen,
yeah,
he's probably been in a situation where one fucking guy starts acting pushy.
Yes,
they all start doing it. Next thing you know, he's in fucking kind of a hot spot.
Yeah. Well, and that industry too, like, there's a bunch of fucking old dudes, they're asking to have their shit autographed, and they don't care who Russell Crowe is. They want something autographed so they can go and flip it onto eBay and sell it, right? So that becomes that's as much of an industry as anything. That's that's really gotten off the rails. Good morning, Dwayne. I see you out there, brother. Hey, Johnny, I was in the car yesterday. Lauren had a flat, so I was driving down the road, and I thought I saw you actually driving in the vehicle next to me. I don't know, man. What the fuck is this? Kai, is that John there sitting in that truck driving? I swear it was him. I don't know. That was maybe that was.
That's actually pretty fucking slick.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Like, that's anybody who's a plumber that's looking for a great way to drive your bit. Like, Johnny, how do you not get business from that thing driving next to you? Right? Honest to God, that's pretty fucking clever. That is pretty clever. Yeah, Seth Pepper's coming up here. I see him in the green room joining us in a few moments to hang out with myself and John Anderson. Hey, Johnny, so one of the things I have really thoroughly enjoyed learning while hanging out with you for the last couple of years is just the timeliness of the Ozempic, the semaglutide, the tirzepatide, the peptide world that we keep talking about. Well, listen, some news broke this morning. Some researchers, Johnny, through University of Pennsylvania researchers, they threw some large, so this is actually kind of new. This is breaking too. Petro, hear this one, brother. Researchers threw 410,000 Reddit posts through AI, and they discovered some stuff from humans posting. What I found interesting, bro, just a quick side note here. When I was working at ICUC, we had brands hire us, Johnny, to go spend time in Reddit and these forums to go find like adverse effects and information so that they could respond and be educated about conversations happening like over there, right? So when I saw this, I was quite struck by it because like big pharma companies pay big money for this type of information. Well, listen, 410,000 posts were scanned on Reddit, and they identified 67,000 self-reported users that described a side effect they didn't know about that came through this AI analysis. Kai, run the clip. We'll talk about it.
AI scanned 410,000 Reddit posts on Ozempic Wegovy, found side effects doctors barely talk about. Reddit, now FDA's unpaid intern. Not proof, but a signal. Chills, hot flashes, fatigue, plus menstrual changes reported by 4%. Clinical trials don't catch everything humans post at 2 a.m. Takeaway, don't doom scroll. Track symptoms, talk to your clinician, and remember, real-world data is messy, but ignoring it is dumber.
So we know, we've talked about all the obvious ones, but I guess these researchers, one that's on, there's patient-reported reproductive symptoms, including menstrual changes, temperature-related complaints such as chills and hot flashes. And the researchers described that 4% of users who reported side effects described reproductive symptoms. Now, take this with a grain of salt. This is literally just scanning posts on Reddit and then just finding some patterns, then pulling it out here. So we know the known issues of nausea, fatigue, vomiting, constipation, and diarrhea. But that's for probably over. This is some stuff they discovered. Thoughts, comments on this? Obvious, duh.
Well, a lot of different things come to mind.
Yeah.
You're dealing with, let's talk about the profile of the person.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay, so a guy that I want to listen to doesn't have the spare time to be fucking writing shit on Reddit.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Number one.
Yeah.
And number two, these are people who God knows what type of fucking guidance they had, if any.
Yes.
And if they followed that guidance. And then I would bet that the majority of their symptoms all come from fucking malnutrition.
Yeah, not eating, right? That's one thing I learned from you.
It's just kind of fucking simple math. That, of course the fucking doctors are not fucking Jesus Christ. I mean, most of the time when a doctor looks at someone that's lost a bunch of weight, you think they're fucking worried about their nutrition? No. Oh, great. You lost more weight. This is perfect. You look like you're 97 years old and you're 35, but you've lost some weight.
Right. It's true, though.
I mean, when was the last time you had a doctor ask you about eating like nutrient-rich food? No. He fucking tells you you're this tall and you weigh this much. Reduce your calories to this.
Yeah,
he doesn't talk to you about what's in the calorie.
It's funny because the advice is from like 45 years ago. Like, actually, it's like there's no new advice.
That was even fucking ridiculous 45 years ago.
I know. Well, that's the funny thing, man. That's exactly it. It's just dated.
Like, the crazy part about this, though, dude,
yeah,
that now they can fucking take and to have a person or a series of people do what AI did probably in an afternoon.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes.
I mean, holy shit.
Yes.
It just shows you you can't even fucking bear your secrets on a fucking message board. You know?
I do know. Yeah. Hey, coming up, Seth Pepper started swimming at 14. He went from 0 and he still became a 23-time All-American and NCAA champion. And then the Olympics handed him the kind of heartbreak that can define a life. Third at trials, then missing another team by 0.04 seconds. Coming up, Seth Pepper in a few moments, going to join myself and John Anderson. Before we do that, though, so Johnny, last week I talked about Kyle Busch, the untimely passing of a young man, 41 years old. And, you and I...
We didn't mention his name before he passed, correct? Because we got a bad fucking record of that.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. You're right. Yes.
I swear to God, the curse of the fucking Morning Lab. We mentioned someone, they're looking great. They're 87. Tomorrow they fucking choke.
They die. Not laughing at this one, but I want to talk about this because we've talked so often on the show about the power of the body. And it's one thing I've learned from you and learning from talking with you and some of our guests. You know what freaks me out, man? The guy died from sepsis, pneumonia/sepsis. Man, sepsis is a killer, eh? Like, and I don't know much, didn't know much about it. I learned more about it because of this untimely death. Do you know much about sepsis, Johnny?
I know very little about it.
So do I. Yeah. And it's to make it simple, it's infection in the body. Right. And, it's pneumonia.
Dude, infections are fucking deadly, dude.
100%. It's such I will say to you that I take that concept for granted when I think infection. You're like, oh yeah, my body's just going to heal it. It's just going to take care of itself. Well, he had pneumonia. The pneumonia turned into sepsis, and that infection overtook his fucking body and killed him. 41 years old, man.
Yeah, and those things can develop quick.
Yes. Yeah. I had my former father-in-law, my ex-wife's father-in-law, when he was ill, there was concerns about him getting sepsis. And I kept wondering, what's this sepsis thing? And it's infection that gets in the body and it'll kill you. So, cause we're so conditioned to the big C words or these, heart attacks, cancer, or strokes. And
well, I was doing a little more, it's funny, more fucking shit is bubbling up about cholesterol now.
Yeah. Yes.
Dude, it's fucking crazy. I mean, if you just for a moment forget everything that we've been programmed to believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Start looking into older civilizations and all this shit. And then start looking at the mechanism of cholesterol in a normal person, a normal, healthy.
Yeah.
It's like, this is like one of the body's fucking safeguards.
Cholesterol.
Yeah. This is like one of the things that helps the body from having certain types of illnesses, but we're crushing it and opening ourselves up to all these fucking illnesses.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I believe, cholesterol has been the biggest purveyor of retirements, retirement savings and so forth, because every doctor on the planet prescribes everybody with a statin or a cholesterol pill. It's like 50 years ago. Oh, you need a cholesterol pill. Right. And then it's just cholesterol pill. And then as time goes on, we learn this, we learn that, and we're still no further ahead with it.
Well, I mean, I just keep going back to, now, granted, if you're a lazy fuck, you lay on the couch, you eat fucking Cheetos, don't listen because this doesn't apply to you. But if you move, right, and you're eating semi-healthy foods and you're avoiding these really high fucking refined sugars.
Yes.
Cholesterol being high, this is like some of these different civilizations, these fuckers live to be over 100 as a majority, and their cholesterol is off the charts.
Yeah. Cholesterol will be debated forever, I suspect. All right. Sophia Grant has got our guest warmly waiting for us, patiently waiting for us in the green room. So, Johnny, let's welcome him in here. The man for the next 30 minutes, his name is Seth Pepper. I don't think he's related to Chip and Pepper. Johnny, there's a couple of dudes here in Winnipeg named Chip and Pepper. Back when I was growing up, they started a clothing company. They started a big brand company and a jeans company, and then they went away. So when I Hans coming, hey, maybe this guy's related to him, but probably not. Not that story meant anything to anybody except me, but what the hell. Hey, Sophia Grant, let's bring him up. Seth Pepper this morning. Going to join myself and John Anderson on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
There is a kind of loss people congratulate you for. You were close, so they call it success. But close can haunt you because your body remembers the moment your future changed. When the gap is tiny, the question gets personal. Was I not enough or just not there yet? Seth knows that edge. At 14, he walked into a YMCA, with an Olympic dream. He couldn't swim at that level yet. So the dream started with horse stalls, bike rides, and practice. He kept coming back. At Arizona, the late starter became an NCAA champion and earned 23 All-American honors. He represented the United States internationally and won medals. The Olympic door was not imaginary anymore. It was visible. Then trials gave him the version of almost that stays under your skin. He finished third and stayed home. 4 years later, .04 seconds kept him off another Olympic team. One blink, one breath, a different life. When swimming ended, panic showed up. So did the question no medal could answer. Who was he without the scoreboard? Today, Seth will show us how to stop fighting pressure, read it clearly, calm the body, and trust the next move. Seth, welcome to the lab. We're excited to have you here today.
This guy at 14, he walks into a YMCA and he says,
hey, real quick, brother, that story that you told right before the break,
bad story.
Well, that would be a classic example of why no one would fucking walk with you in the hallways at school.
It was a bad story.
Yeah, you're like, you get someone's attention, start telling the story. The fuck is this little weirdo talking about?
I'm like little Rain Man in the corner just telling my story that nobody's paying attention to. Maybe Seth Pepper was paying attention to my story. Let's bring him in. What's shaking, Seth? Did you hear my story?
I don't know if I got the story.
Well, nobody did. That's the problem, brother. See, let's just be straight. We'll just clear the air. Keith is so happy to have friends because he spent this first part of his life where people would only play with him in the neighborhood when no one could see. At school, he had no friends. So now he's created his own little place for friends come and hang out with him.
Seth, where are you joining us from today, brother?
Tucson, Arizona.
Nicely done. Nicely done. I like your backdrop, man. Wow. Are you like, so is this like a space where you go take photos with your family? Is that like your photo backdrop or what's that all about, my friend?
I just have had it for years, you know,
Yeah.
So I started out like that, you know, and no one knew the name. And so just want to make sure people know the name.
Yeah. Yeah. Seth Pepper. You got your own font and everything, man. You're rocking it, dude. Wow. Loving it.
Yeah, and there's a phrase there that says unlimit your potential. So
yeah,
I was a little kid about 6 years old. That's, you know, kind of what popped into my head was, what if someone, you know, could really get out of their own way? And what if we actually had like an educational system that was all about human potential? So I've always been focused on that.
Brother, I love that. You know, see, I was just blessed enough. I was a dumb little son of a bitch. I was just dumb enough to believe I could do it. You know, and because if it's literally, sometimes being a little dense is what you need to believe. And without belief, you got nothing.
Well, John, I think you guys might be related this way. And Seth, don't take this the wrong way, but you had a belief. You had an ignorance. Because Johnny, the guy walks into the YMCA at 14. He says he wants to go to the Olympics, but the guy can't really swim. So Johnny, somewhere in his brain, he kind of had a thought process like yours, where he's like, I love you, Seth. Maybe I'm too dumb enough to believe, but I want to go to the Olympics and I can't even swim. So how did you arrive at connecting those two dots, my friend?
Well, it's probably, you know, I just call it probably delusion, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Constructed delusion.
Delusions of grandeur that you had the balls to follow.
Yeah. It was this curiosity of like,
hell yeah, brother.
Can I do it? You know, so it was just like an experiment.
Yeah, that's awesome. So your idol Pablo Morales, he comes out of retirement, he took the Olympic spot you were chasing. So what's that all about, man? You got some guy you're chasing, you're looking up to him, you're idolizing him, and then you wake up one day, you open up the news or somebody shows you, hey, the dude's back out. You're like, what the?
Yeah. I still remember the day I was on the pool deck when I read the news, and you know, just my gut, I could tell something was gonna, you know, happen. So yeah, I mean, for me, it was Pablo was the guy that I hung up on my wall when I started. And, you know, when I did win the NC2A championship, the national championship, he's the one that handed me the award. So he handed me both victory and also defeat. So
where did you swim, brother? What school?
I went to the University of Arizona and I swam the 100 fly and also 50 free. So short events. So,
nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Seth, you after swimming ended, so you go through your swimming period and then your swimming ends. You talked about panic and identity collapse, and I got to tell you, brother, I appreciate the kind words you dropped in my inbox a couple of days ago. You said, "Hey, I love what you and Johnny are doing on the show here and the platform we're creating here." And a lot of the platform we're creating is for men and women like yourself, myself, Johnny. When something happens, and panic, imposter syndrome, and you know, you wake up and you're like, "Oh, I thought I was that, but now I don't know who the fuck I am."
Yeah.
You went through that, didn't you?
Yeah, because you don't really see it coming. You think, oh, well, if I just focus more, I'll get more. And, you know, and then you don't realize that you're building a whole identity about what you're doing. And then when that ends, it's kind of like an actor where the movie ends and you don't have that role anymore. So, yeah, it was confusing. And then I tried to control things, kind of like how I had controlled things when I was swimming.
Oh.
That's when things spun out of control.
Talk about that, because you dropped something there. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, in swimming, in sports, you get a false sense of control because you're in this sort of laboratory that if I train harder, I get more focus, I'll get more results. And that more or less comes true if you're like obsessed about it. But life doesn't really work like that. It's not a laboratory. So you go out there and, you know, things take a while and things happen in the gray area. It's not black and white. And I really didn't know who I was without swimming. You know, I would walk into a room before and people were like, oh, that's Seth the swimmer. And then when that ended, I was like, just Seth. And I was like, well, who is Seth? And so I kind of went through it's dated, but Forrest Gump, you know, I had the beard, the long hair, and I'd kind of given away everything just to find out who I was outside of that sport. And it took me years to figure that out, but thank goodness I took the time to do it.
Yeah. Johnny?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, brother. I mean, it's like when I went through pivots myself, you know, I had to like my whole formula for success, because it was Denzel fucker, was all about simplification. The simpler I made things, the better I understood it. So when I was in these little pivot points we're talking about, you know, I'm in this space where I don't really know what I'm doing. I was here, now I'm here, and I'm fucking lost. I just kept stripping it down to the point where I really recognized that, you know, the core of my identity was I'm the guy that will do what other people won't. And that kind of gave me it kind of rebuilt that self-esteem that I was missing, because I didn't, you know, it's like you understand clearly. It's like you just all of a sudden it's like the air is just sucked out from inside of you. And who are you? What the fuck are you doing? I had all this focus and I don't have any place to put that. And so by me kind of gathering that real base, you know, of course, there were many layers I came to understand on top of that. But understanding, you know, some of the basis of who you are, holy Christ, if you don't have that, I think that's where, you know, people end up addicted to drugs and all sorts of shit, because they just spin out of control and they can't stop it.
Seth, did you end up in some bad self-sabotaging behaviors that you're comfortable talking about this morning?
Well, I didn't necessarily, but I took a long time. You know, it took me 7 years of just giving everything away, stripping away everything. I mean, it was a deep search. And
so hold on a second. I want to interrupt you. So you literally stripped everything back away, and you went to simplicity. Cut your hair. You gave it all away. You went minimalism. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. I have great parents, and they just gave me the space to explore it. And so I just started literally giving everything I owned away.
You're not speaking facetiously. You're taking your fucking couch and you gave it away type shit.
Yeah. And literally there was a point in my life where I had nothing. You know, I'd given everything. I'd go down and just give it away. And it was this stripping away of, you know, I called it suicide of a personality, you know, so I wasn't going to hurt myself physically, but mentally I could do anything I wanted. And so it was just trying to figure out, like, what is this all about, you know? And then every day I just go study, and I'd study all the things that just seemed like maybe there's the answer in the Bible. Maybe there's the answer in this economics book. Maybe there's, I was just searching. Like, what's the simple truth about life? And a friend of mine, a really close friend of mine, you know, after all this, 7 years later, he said, so what'd you find? And I said, you know, Pete, it's all made up. Like, everything's made up. You know, like everything, like, you know, business is made up, education's made up. And it was like this sort of really clear, it's a simple message, but I was speaking from experience, and he just had me repeat that over and over. And so with what I do now with helping people, it's like, now that I know that it's all made up, now it's like, hey, let's make it the way you want to make it. Right. So
I love that, brother.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I in some of these, phases we're talking about, I really like, okay, I got to figure out what is it that I want to fucking wake up, and what is it that really makes me happy?
Yeah.
And I really started focusing on like my day-to-day journey. Like if I'm not enjoying today, I'm really fucked. The things I'm doing today are like little puzzle pieces of this bigger picture. But if I don't enjoy these puzzle pieces, I'm fucking screwed. And so that's where I really started. I call I don't call it a day. I call it a loop. It's this 24-hour loop, and I have these 24 time slots, and I get to kind of shuffle around, and there's certain time slots I have to protect, so to speak, because these are my spots. This is what brings me joy. And if I don't have those spots, I'm what am I doing? And it's just kind of crazy to hear how we all go through our own ways of finding that, that place.
Yeah. I mean, you asked about substance abuse. I didn't have substance abuse, but one of my close friends, he admitted afterwards that he was an alcoholic, and he said, you took the version where you actually wanted to learn. He said, I took the coward's version.
Interesting.
So, yeah, for me, it was this idea of like, if I strip it all away, what isn't? And like you said, make the day that you want to have. And so, now I think the presence, you give permission to others to go and do the same thing, and know that, like you brought up imposter syndrome, for me, I'm always curious of, no matter how much success I have, I still have this sort of imposter, thing. And I dropped the syndrome part because I didn't want it to be a negative. I was just like, every single day we're kind of resetting. Every single day, it's all made up. So, well, what if there is an imposter part, right, where we question everything and go, well, man, I made it all up. Okay, well, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's nothing. And I'm more comfortable with just sitting in that,
I think imposter syndrome, call it whatever we want to use, whatever adjectives we want to use. I think that we should embrace it, because it means we're doing something new. And that's fucking what life's about. If you're doing the same fucking shit every day and you don't feel that imposter syndrome, you're really not growing. And it's all about growth. I mean, progress, growth on a daily basis will fill that void in the fucking belly of a person. And people lose track of that simple fact,
Yeah.
It's funny is you kind of sit here and talk about your friend that said substance, right?
Yeah.
He had substance in the way he took the coward's way. It just kind of dawned on me. I never really thought about this until now, but because I dealt with substance issues my whole fucking athletic career. But I look, it's really weird. It's just dawned on me now. I only dealt with them when I was actually in a secure spot, in a position with one of them. When I was in a transition, I was so fucking rattled and so scared. I didn't want anything to do with that shit, because I knew that I couldn't find my way out.
Interesting.
I was clouded.
Yeah. I think that for me, the gift was my parents gave me time, and so I just figured, now when I work with people, there's nothing wrong. Like, I don't believe that we're broken. I just believe we need to take the time to figure it out. So that's the big element, was space. Yeah.
We're hanging out with Seth Pepper this morning, and myself, John Anderson, on Mornings Live with Keith, John, and friends. Seth started swimming at 14, basically went from zero, and still became a 23-time All-American and NCAA champion. Joining us from Arizona this morning. Hey, Seth, so do you have children?
Yes, I have 2 daughters. Yeah.
You've talked plenty about the love for your parents and the time that they gave you. I'm suspecting you've done and you are doing the same thing with your daughters.
Yeah. With my daughters, we have a swimming pool, and my wife was like really nervous because I wouldn't teach them how to swim. And but for me, it was there was a relationship with the water, so I wanted to make sure that if they wanted to swim, they wanted to swim. Thankfully, they learned how to swim. They taught themselves, but have a good, healthy relationship. They love the water. but I never wanted to push competition on them, because my biggest pet peeve was what, I call a parent coach.
Yeah.
And, to me, they were living vicariously through their kids. And so my daughter, the oldest daughter, was in gymnastics on her own choice, and she was working on something and she was crying, and I just kind of tried to support her, and she got even more upset. She got more pissed. And I realized, kids are just born that way. They're born competitive. They're born with this fire in their gut. And so she went on to basketball, and so that's her sport. And I just love watching and seeing where she wants to go with it. It's not about me. I just sit over in the shadows.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, so I got a little clip I want to put on this on the stage this morning as we're continuing our conversation with Seth Pepper. Hey, Johnny, so I got a California sheriff, Seth, who's offered some words to wisdom. I think any son, any daughter, any human on the planet needs to hear these words to wisdom. I know folks have sometimes have their knickers in a knot with military and cops and authority. Well, this cop might actually have dropped the most obvious words of wisdom for all of us to lean into this morning. Hey, Kai, hey, Jimmy, let's run this clip, man. This is funny. Check this out.
Turn it up. I can't read that fast.
Yeah, can you guys turn it up there? So he said, I don't know if you guys can turn that up there. He said, don't shoot at cops, or else we're going to run him over. We intentionally ran him over. He got what he deserved. So his words of wisdom were, don't shoot at cops. We intentionally rode him over, and he got what he deserved. And they drove over him because the guy was shooting.
I mean, think of listen, if we're in a car, let's say the three of us are going to get a steak, and some fucker, I'm driving, and some fucker goes walking across the crosswalk, pulls a gun out and starts shooting at us. I'm fucking flooring it. I'm running that fucker over. Hell yes.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's self-defense. We got a car. He's got a gun.
That's it. So words of wisdom from our sheriff from California. If you are intentionally going to run over the cops, you're going to get shot, and you deserve it. So, hey, Seth, we got Seth Pepper joining us this morning. Good morning, Lauren. I see you out there, my love. Hey, Seth, so the F switch. Talk to us about the F switch. It's your own program you've launched. Explain it like we're sitting in a locker room 5 minutes before the biggest moment of our lives. What are we switching off? What does the F switch mean to Seth Pepper?
Yeah, I was second to the Olympic gold medalist, and my coach was a world record holder, and he'd see, I guess the greatness in me that I couldn't see, and he'd say, "Why are you apologizing for your greatness?" And I was like, "Well, that's a pretty good race." And then the next year it happened, and he goes, "Why are you asking permission? Why don't you just go take it?" And then finally, the last year that I had, I was standing behind the start, and all of a sudden this peace came over me. And I say peace because it sounds aggressive to say, well, fuck this race, fuck these people, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
But it was like just this sort of peaceful thing that happened. And I can't even remember the race. And later on, with understanding the space really well, it's the flow state, it's the zone, it's being present in the moment. And so that's when we get out of our own way. So your best performance is equal to your ability minus resistance. Resistance is self, And so what we try to do is find ways around the self, because your ego is the thing that gets in the way. So the F switch is kind of like when you just say, fuck it, and you go for it. And, a lot of people will go, oh, well, of course, that's obvious. But it's not obvious when you work so hard for something and, now you got to let go of it. It's not about me. It happens through me. And a lot of people have had experiences like that, but it's almost like getting struck by lightning. They don't understand it. They don't know where it came from. And so for me, I just try to make it normal and get ourselves in position so it can happen more often and longer. So, yeah,
I like it.
That's when we're at our best, when it's not about us. The example would be, there's a number of cases where a mother will, the infant's stuck under the car, and she gets out and lifts the car, something that doesn't even seem possible. But in that moment, that's an F it switch where you just don't have the choice. She has to, and she's not thinking about herself at all. And so that's that one, if you're a person of faith, it's let go and let God. if you're a person from Star Wars, it would be like trust the Force, allow
It's
it
a
to
peaceful spot right there we're speaking of, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And so that's the thing, is the ego gets in the way, the identity gets in the way. And so when we fear failure, when we fear, you know, what might happen, then that's about you. It's not about something that can actually just happen, you know. And so that's what we're trying to do, is get ourselves out of our own way.
Yeah.
I still know what you're talking about, brother, because there's like in different things that I've done, like it's always stage related, you know, and so stage or ring or you know, it's almost like the nerves. I'm like scared to fucking death. I have to remind myself, this is scared and excitement are really fucking close. You're not scared, you're excited. As I get closer to that whistle or get closer to that curtain opening or closer to my name getting called, I just feel myself kind of like going into this space where it's like the calm comes across me and I'm things slow down and I'm very aware.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, man, I want to stay here.
Yeah, in the most recent documentary, Hulk Hogan talks about it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And he drops into the zone and he says it's better than sex, you know, and it's like, you know, it's just this feeling of bliss, you know. And I think that that's what we're really, truly, when people are asking, like, what's life all about? I think it's because it's the flow. It's feel, you know, people have said, follow your bliss. But the person originally said that, he said, it was actually follow your blisters to find your bliss. So it's really uncomfortable to get there.
Yeah,
you know?
people don't have the stick-to-itiveness to get there.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
Coming up in about 5 minutes or so, we got Briana Bass joining myself and John Anderson for some no safe words. The difference between chemistry and compatibility. Yes, we're having that conversation with Briana coming up in a few minutes. Johnny, you're going to love this. So this is what Seth thinks, and I love this. Seth, you separate the human being from the human doing. Dude, I fucking love that. I spent some time yesterday with some dudes talking about, and I hate this. Sorry, Johnny, but I do hate this. The I wannas and I'm gonnas. Dude, what the fuck's the I'm gonna and I'm the I wanna? What about the I'm doing? So when I saw that, the human being and the human doing, I'm like, oh man, I think we might have to steal that. If you're either doing or you're being. If you're being, you're actually not getting anything done. Seth, talk about the idea of a human doing. Dude, I fucking love that, man.
Yeah, yeah. So if we go back to the panic attack is when your world spirals because you're attached to the outcome, you know, so you're attached to the score or the grade or whatever it might be. And so that's the doing. That's when someone actually thinks their self-identity, their self-esteem is wrapped into what they're doing. And so for me to understand this, I had to separate, well, the doing's one thing, it's an activity.
Yeah.
But I'm a human being and human beings learn through failure. So if you understand how you learned how to walk, it was continual failure.
Yeah.
An infant is falling an average of 69 times every day.
Yeah.
None of that is like, oh, I'm failing. It just keeps going and going and going and getting a bit better each time. And so what you do is you separate the human being and the human doing. And it just helps people like be able to play at an even higher level because now they can play like their life depends on it, knowing that their life doesn't depend on it. And so that's a really key part for people to understand that you're not what you do. And in this world, we're in an information age. And in information, we know all this stuff. And I make this point, like, so what? You know everything. We all know everything. But what are you doing? Like, what's the moment that you're actually out there doing this stuff?
Well, that's
where the brain's getting tricked a lot nowadays.
People need help with the application. We don't have an information crisis. We have an application crisis.
Well, it's interesting because there's a big shift, and I'm going to just nerd out for a second with you guys, but there's a big shift in the software world. But we've grown up for the last 20 years, Seth and Johnny, where SaaS, which was software as a service, right? We're shifting that now to service as software because it's this, no, but I want it done. Right? I want it done. I don't just want to look at the data in the dashboards because ChatGPT gave me all the information. Yeah, what am I going to do with it? Oh, but now I can give you an agent to get it done. There's a difference there. I love that because the doing and the being are two different things. And I'm really a fan of that statement there because doing is the magic that's so hard for so many of us to do. Execute. I was talking to an investor yesterday. I said, one of the things you'll learn about me, and it's same with Johnny, I execute. Most people just talk. I will execute. To do, Seth, to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, I'll just be blunt with someone when I'm working with a person or a team or a group. I'll just say, I'm probably not going to teach you anything, but what I'm going to do is remind you of simple things. And then we're going to have it, and you mentioned earlier, the loop. We're going to have an accountability loop between each other. And that's the most important thing right now. Yeah. Did you go do it? Just go do it.
Did you go do it? That's a hard question for somebody to answer, because that's loaded in intention. Another scary word for humanity is intention. Because when you say intention, you're like, okay, well, I guess I got to do it.
Most people don't know what fucking intention means for Christ.
I know. So Seth, I gotta go. So when you ask somebody, did you do it? I suspect for the first few coaching sessions with a lot of folks, there's a lot of humility happening, right? Because they're like, holy fuck, he's actually following up with me to ask me if I did it.
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. And it's all about patterns for me. So I always make the point, like, I just notice patterns, and you're either expanding or you're contracting.
Yes.
And that's it. And so you're either getting it done or you're not getting it done. And I'm not judging you. I'm just trying to put the choice in front of you more often.
Yeah. Seth, before we bring in our next guest, Briana, and walk you out of the lab here, a quick little tidbit from you. The difference between chemistry and compatibility. How long have you been married?
Whoa. I'm going to get in trouble if I don't get the number right.
She's not listening right now.
A couple decades.
Okay, there you go. So could you speak to that chemistry to compatibility over time?
Yeah, I think that, my experience has been, I have this phrase that I live by: be committed to commitment for commitment's sake. And so I always believe that commitment is rewarded.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just stick with it. It's just over and over and over time, whether it's a sport or it's a business or it's a marriage, they're all relationships. And in a relationship, commitment's going to be honored.
Yeah. Commitment will be honored, just like Seth honored his commitment with myself and Jon this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Seth, closing up, anything you want our audience to know, places to go, places to find you, how can they connect with you? Closing words for you, brother.
Yeah. Go ahead and reach out. Anyone. I always like to talk to people. SethPepper.com. All the handles on all the socials are pretty much Seth Pepper. And, for me, my life has just been, trying to be an example that you can go after your dreams and achieve them. And then for me, like you mentioned, my failure became my greatest success because it created the curiosity that I live with today. Like, how can I help someone get through things quicker than I did?
Yeah. Johnny, closing words for Seth?
It was great talking with you, brother. You got a great energy about you.
Yeah.
And, the way that you deliver your message is I can just totally see how there is a certain walk of life that resonates so strong with how your energy and your presentation. And I mean, the world needs more people like you, brother. And you definitely have a way of going about what you do that's impactful. So keep it up. I love it, man. Pleasure speaking with you today.
Yeah. There's a certain calm about him, isn't there, Jon? And one last thing before we let Seth go. Seth, dude, I'm sorry, man. You look like somebody. So who have you been told you look like? Scott Bakula, maybe, but you look like an actor.
Instead, he gets fucking man crushes really easy, so don't.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Johnny's right. Yeah, or maybe Mark Cuban, but you look like somebody, dude. I'm telling you, who do people?
What the fuck? He's way better looking than Mark Cuban. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I do not disagree with you.
Jesus Christ.
I agree with you, but I'm Seth. Who are you told you look like?
Well, in different times of my life, it might have been Daniel Day-Lewis or
Scott Bakula. Like, remember that? What was that show we grew up with? Where it's kind of the same age. What was it? The time traveler one, Quantum Leap. That's what it was.
Yeah, those sort of. Sometimes Jim Carrey or Pierce Brosnan at times. That's what my name is. So
you know what Seth looks like?
Yes,
Seth.
Yeah, we got Cheryl Whitaker dropping Kevin Costner. There you go. Good morning, Whitaker. Yeah. So Seth's walking out of here. Handsome Seth is leaving us this morning on Mornings in the Lab. Seth, listen, before you do go, brother, you have been really kind with your comments on LinkedIn. You were kind, just before the show here. So I appreciate that kindness, and we'll be following you from afar. And you spend some time in the comments. Come back and see some time. Okay.
Oh, thanks, guys. Keep up.
Thank you, brother.
Awesome.
Pleasure.
All right, Seth is out of here. We're doing the lifestyle tip with John Anderson, coming back with our very own Briana Bass. The difference between chemistry and compatibility. Up next with Briana, Keith, and John on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
Lifestyle tip. Gonna be short and sweet. I'll be honest. I got to take a piss. Stop fucking quitting. Jesus Christ. What is wrong with you people? You realize you're quitting because you're fucking worried about failure. And the worst part about it is you're more worried about what people are going to think or say because you failed than the goddamn failure itself. But here's the fucking key. Listen to me, goddammit. It's impossible to fail if you don't fucking quit. It's called a work in progress. For Christ's sake, get this through your head. You are going to have all sorts of trials and tribulations in your journey. But if you don't quit, you will succeed. It's just a matter of fucking time. It's not if, it's when. If you have the balls to not quit. So ask yourself a goddamn question. Are you a fucking quitter? Think about that one. Rock and roll.
Good morning. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We are into hour 2 of the big show that we call Mornings. We get after it every single Monday through Friday right here on Mornings.live, the Mornings Authority Network. We kick it off every 7:30 in the morning with Matt Roof, Kindness Rising. We get after it 8 o'clock with Keith and John. Of course, every Wednesday, 8:30, Cheryl Whitaker drops it. Today at 9 o'clock, we got Sarah Barnes-Humphrey with Thoughts and Coffee, and of course, Jason Hewlett on Thursdays. Hey guys, we just wrapped up with Seth Pepper. The guy walked into a YMCA at 14, couldn't swim. Yeah, what a wonderful conversation we had. Seth, he is a former elite performer. Now he talks about the F switch, turning humans into exceptional human beings along the way. All right, coming up, we got Briana Bass, the difference between chemistry and compatibility. These are the conversations I know you guys all love to have. We're talking relationship, we're talking sex, plus I got a couple other things to throw out there this morning. Myself, Johnny, and Briana, that conversation starts right now.
You didn't lose the spark. You just ran out of free chemistry and started calling it a crisis.
Chemistry is the trailer. Compatibility is the mortgage, the carpool, and the Tuesday night silence you keep pretending is peace.
Men think love is a feeling. Then the feeling fades and they stop leading. They go quiet. That's not maturity. That's avoidance.
If you need constant spark to feel safe, you'll chase novelty forever. Compatibility is built can, with choices, not vibes.
Quick test. If the sex vanished for 30 days, do you still respect each other? Or are you just running a household with benefits?
Briana, what's your advice for a man whose wife caught him on a gay porn website, and his defense was, it's for John?
Comments on that one, Briana?
I didn't. I am not consulted. Just for the record.
Good morning, Briana. What a shaking, kid.
Hey there.
Nice to see you this morning. We got our very own Sterling and Preston dropping bombs on this morning, making our hosts like, what the hell's going on there? It's exactly it. Hey, we're talking chemistry and compatibility this morning, the 2 C words. I'd even throw a third one on there, commitment. Briana, do a lot of folks walk into your lab saying that we had a lot of chemistry, we used to have a lot of sex, chemistry, but now I really can't stand them because we have no more compatibility? How often does that happen, Briana Bass? Let's start the conversation.
It's incredibly common. I would struggle to even meet anyone just between us 3 or just out in life that hasn't been in that situation where they're going, I had this relationship, it burned really hot, and then it died, or not even the burning died, but it was so much conflict now that the burn wasn't worth it. Yeah, so I think we've all been there.
Interesting. Use the other C word, conflict. Is that what happened? Right. So it's like the chemistry turns into all that passion has to go somewhere, turns to conflict.
Well, it depends. So chemistry can show up in a couple of different ways. So one, chemistry can be, limerence. If you're not familiar with the term limerence, it just means that intoxication, right? We've got
Yes.
so many things firing off, sort of hijacking our system and making us feel alive with this person. And it's the best feeling. Literally, these are the exact same things that happen when we use cocaine. I mean, it really is a thing. And I think it's under talked about a lot. We call it sweet things like crushes and stuff like that, right? Yeah, and I think that we need to call it out a lot more, because what I don't want is men, for example, making 20-year, 25, 15-year decisions from a commitment standpoint on something that's based on chemistry for a year, and that's not going to work out too well. And then we end up in the situation like you're describing, where, hey, how come things used to be this way, now they're this way, and this contrast feels enormous.
Well, Jon, you talk about your buddy that's been married 8,000 times. I'm joking, of course, but when Briana talks limerence, that's kind of what I'm thinking about your friend, right? Where he falls into love.
He just runs from fucking shiny object to shiny object.
Is that limerence, Briana, that you're talking about, where it's like this lust, and then it dies out?
Yeah, limerence is, it could be. Yeah, it absolutely could be what he's facing. But essentially, he's in limerence, he's in chemistry instead of being in compatibility, where he's feeling high as a kite, he's feeling intoxicated in this really beautiful way. And it's very acceptable, right? It's often what we're pursuing. It's the goal. It's what we see on TV that it's supposed to be like. And so that's what we're measuring, but it doesn't last. It doesn't have the longevity, the sustainability. Our brains can't sustain even that level of activation, to be honest with you. And then if that falls off, but we don't have the foundation underneath, so it's replaced with silence now, losing each other, the fireworks, that part is gone, or perhaps conflict now is present with all of that to offset and counterbalance. And you're like, you know what, I'm out. Or for this guy, perhaps his chemistry and his limerence and his sort of obsession is temporary, and it's based on maybe earning them, or what we talk about all the time, the novelty of the beginning. And 6 months in or a year in, he's like, this no longer does it for me. It's boring. And he's, as he said, on to the next shiny object.
Yeah.
So that's probably what this guy is facing, and have fun with that, right? I mean, what an exhausting life to live.
100%. So tell me if I'm totally off base when I kind of, because as I sit and think about my position on this topic, like I think about companionship, right? Like companionship, Terry has been an extremely good companion, and I feel like when I lean into that, that's like almost like the foundation for the chemistry. But if I don't lean into that, and I don't value that, and I don't recognize, if I'm not grateful for it, if I don't, it's then at that point, it's just becomes hear people, oh, it's just like a friend. Well, are you really leaning into these gifts that you have, which then, it's like from a physical standpoint, over the years, even though, Terry's 25 years older than when I met her, she's more physically beautiful to me now because the companionship has developed, which then makes the sparks that much better. That's the way I've kind of see it and operate. Is that like off basis, or is that have some sort of clinical identification?
It does have a clinical identification, and it's quite literally compatibility. So Jon's defining it, and this is why he's been able to last. And he did it the right way, which is compatibility, and then sort of bringing the heat or the chemistry, layering them on top of one another, but not just having the chemistry piece cannot survive without the compatibility. The compatibility piece can survive without the chemistry piece. But if you want a relationship that's thriving, that's what I'm always preaching, is to introduce the chemistry piece, and you have to maintain it, which takes intentional effort. But what Jon is talking about specifically, which is so important, right, is this compatibility, meaning, hey, we have the way that we function, and how that works over time is sustainable, meaning we've got alignment of values, the way that we handle conflict, our life direction, communication style, our relationship to money, our family, our interest in parenting and kind of the style around that, perhaps the work and lifestyle, sort of how they fell into, who goes to work, what's doing this, what does that look like, right? It's all this stuff that determines how two people can actually live a life together. And this is dismissed a lot or not seen as critical because we think that if we have the chemistry, all of this will just uphold itself. It will literally just be bolstered. And that's not true. When the chemistry fades, this comes to the forefront. And then that's where the conflict lies potentially, right? So it's a structure. It's not that sexy on TV. And men have been trained, and women too, no doubt, to feel like if they don't have this firework, they think that that's their body or their brain telling them that this is the one. Chase the crap out of this. So if they're not catching that, date 1, date 2, date 3, they're out. And what I'm here to tell you is that compatibility is actually much more quiet, and it doesn't burn or demand your attention as loud, but it's actually what would create the situation that wasn't the guy jumping from relationship to hit to hit to hit.
I had a buddy of mine when when this dawned on me, it was about 10 years ago. One of my best friends reached out and he's like, man, I got this chick that, we have this, we have this great sex life, and he's talking about all the stuff they do. But then he leaned back to a few things that he wasn't liking that were very skin oriented, very surface on the skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I said, okay. I said, because he's asking, well, what I should do. What is your opinion? Do you have any advice for me? If you were in my position, I said, just dude, close your eyes and make your decision based on the companionship.
Mm-hmm.
And he was quiet for a little while. And that was 10 years ago. They got a great relationship now.
There's some, it's actually interesting to hear Johnny say it because it leans into, and I hate to bring this up, but I'm going to.
Stop using the word hate, you pathetic, you bastard.
I know you're right. I've used it a few times on the show. Thanks for correcting me on that one. And I'm sincere. I appreciate that. Briana, this, what Jon said almost leans into this, that reality show of Love is Blind. Like, remove the skin, teaching the compatibility. And I really loved what you spoke about there for a few minutes. And Jon and Keith joke about it on the show often. As we are raised, we're not taught what you talked about, which is how to find a compatible human. Like you post some really obvious things as I was listening to you. And I was like, yeah, duh. But yeah, we don't do anything about it actually ever, do we, Briana? Until we're sitting in a divorce situation or a separation situation, which is, we really
one of the most important decisions we make as a human is how to pick our partner. And we've never been given any sort of, we're taught algebra, which will fucking help very few people. And we're not taught how to fucking identify the right partner.
And Johnny, we're taught chemistry, one of the titles of the show, but we're not actually taught compatibility. I might have actually learned in 90 seconds from Brianna's discussion there. I was like, Jesus, actually, that's some pretty fucking nuggets that you just dropped there. Briana, that's some pretty important stuff nobody talks about, ever.
Yeah, this is way, way under talked about. I agree. And I don't remember hearing anything from a female standpoint growing up. I heard very little, and being a female, you would think I would have heard at least even more. Yes. So for how little I heard, I can imagine for men, they heard, absolutely nothing, probably. So yeah, you're right. Like, we are making lifetime decisions, 20-year decisions based on a chemical event being chemistry. Yes. That will, like textbook science, all of it, it's not really debatable. If that's what it is exclusively, it's not going to last more than maybe 1 to 2 years. So yeah, in true, picking our partner, it's the most serious above career, above everything, even above having kids. It is the most serious decision you will make in your entire life. There's nothing that will greatly change the course, the trajectory of where you're going more than picking your partner. And we are getting this so wrong. In dating apps, which I do support dating apps, I endorse it. Because for today's lifestyles, I realize that it's an incredible asset compared to what you'd have. The alternatives being, getting yourself out there at a very limited schedule, all the things. So I do endorse them, but they are big on feeling chemistry because we're expecting to go meet someone, for a glass of wine, a couple of times maybe. And if it is not all consuming, I'm alive fireworks, we're out. And then often when it is, oh my God, I'm giddy over him texting me or things like that, And that's what we're using as our North Star, as our compass. And that's not leading us down the right path either, because we feel like we've got this volume game.
Yeah.
So why would you play it out 3, 4, 5 dates or for a few weeks with somebody when you could get that hit and feel alive and have that limerence chemistry high feeling? So I get it. I have all the empathy in the world for it, but you are chasing the wrong North Star.
It's actually ironic, because if people were taught compatibility, Briana doesn't have a job. Right? It's like, oh, I guess we don't need Briana anymore. But Johnny, I want to come back to you because something you said, because you've been very vocal about your relationship with Terry. And you've told us, you told Briana, you told us many times that when you first met Terry, you said to her basically on whether it was day 1 or day 3, but this is who I am. This is what I'm all about. This is how I roll. You either like it or you don't. And Briana, in many ways, I feel like when Jon set that up, it's like he set his compatibility meter up for Terry, eh? He's like,
well, I was going to say on that level, because I had come from this fucking string of unhealthy relationships.
Yeah, but
I was in this place in my life where everything was in check, right? I'm traveling, I'm literally fucking living my dream. I'm like, I can't fucking believe that I've actually got here. And the females that I was with earlier, they were fucking distractions. I mean, they were fun, but God damn it.
Yeah.
I was like, this shit is not worth what I'm doing here. And so I literally had switched up in my mind. I'm like, I just need to meet a chick that I can have a good time with. We can hang out, we can have some good sex, and there's no fucking drama. That was my mindset when I met Terry.
Yeah.
I had literally just come into the spot perfectly when she showed up. Now, the problem was that she presented a lot more than I was prepared for. And I really didn't know what a healthy relationship was. So she got dragged through a bunch of shit. But bottom line was that thank God I had come to that position, or I would have done the same fucking dumb shit with her I did with everybody else. And then, kind of to back up this whole conversation. So Terry and I had a full blown, this was 10 years, about smack dab in the middle of our relationship. We literally had a full blown separation. We had plenty of separations where it was just kind of like letting shit pass by. But this one was 9 months. We were living apart. We were out with other people. We were only basically speaking about kids. It was a full blown deal. And somewhere at the end of that, that 9 months ish time, I think we both kind of came to the same conclusion. Like, there's nothing fucking better out here, what the fuck did I, and it was my doing. I mean, I made the decision, but at that moment, or when I made it, because I believed I wasn't going to make her happy, when in actuality, I was just misunderstanding her signals to me. It wasn't really me. She was going through it anyway, long and short of it, so I feel really fucking blessed that happened, because I know it's like, I don't need to fucking do that again. I know what's out there, and I know what I have, and it was almost like, it just like put the fucking nail in the coffin that this one is for me.
I've enjoyed this topic when I suggested it to you, Briana, because it was as much, I'd say for me and Johnny, for the three of us, because I'm in my second part with my life here, and I met Lauren, and we had a lot of chemistry on day 1. But like Jon talked about Terry, we're 10 years into this thing now. I guess Keith Lauren coming into this. I think she's more attractive than ever. I love her more than ever. The compatibility I feel like I have for her is more than ever. And I've seen kind of but I still believe there's a lot of chemistry there, Briana. But I believe it's been intentional. I see you nodding there. Is that thoughts on that?
Yeah, two points I want to make. So one, what Keith is describing, and Jon said it too, where you both were shocked that actually, as time went on, you felt more powerful with them, or stronger, or more attracted to them, stronger in the bond. So yeah, this is huge. This is because chemistry has a half-life, and compatibility compounds over time. This to me tells me that literally, like, we don't need to play detective here. You have just told me the data that you all have compatibility with your partners, because how you're translating it is to, right, I'm more attracted to her now than ever, even though we're 20 years older, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But what I know is that means you have compatibility, because that's what you're saying when you talk about, wow, it's getting stronger over time. So if chemistry we know burns out and has a half-life, does not compound, and And that's all we've got to stand on. When that quiets, it's that compatibility that you guys are describing that's got to see us through. Now, of course, the goal is to have both chemistry compatibility, and I'm preaching that constantly. And you guys both have that. You have chemistry and you have compatibility. But that's what you're talking about. The other point I wanted to make was where Jon kept saying, you know, I had all these relationships, these hot women, these hot flings and things with the drama, and it was dragging me down. It was really fun, but I was just like, wow, enough. That's not what I'm looking for anymore. What he might be describing is, particularly in chemistry, another sort of form of it can be that when you've got two attachment styles or two nervous systems that are especially complementary in a bad way, meaning, right, I've got an avoidant attachment person and an anxious attachment person, let's say, right? So that is like the strongest chemistry in the world. It is so intoxicating because what's happening is that it's creating this perfect dysfunctional feedback loop, right? Yeah. So let's say, say the avoidant person, okay, he pulls away and then she chases, and then the chasing is going to fire her nervous system, her anxious system, and then the withdrawal fires his avoidance system. And then both of them are getting this incredible chemical event that they're absolutely addicted to, right? And both of them are going to call it chemistry because what's happening is, right, they're going to come back together and feel stronger than ever. It's going to feel like the very thing that brought them so low is the only thing that could possibly pull them out of it and make them feel so high.
It's fight like hell, fuck like hell. Fight like hell, fuck like hell. And it's these extremes, and the, you know, it's, you just can't live that way. You know, it's brutal, absolutely brutal.
Yeah, I've seen those too. I've and Briana, here's a anecdotal type question, Johnny. Maybe you can relate to this, but we talk skin, we talk surface, and I'm just going to use myself as an example. Like I know when I look at Lauren physically, I think she looks physically more attractive than she did when I met her, even though she's older. And I know she'd be like, "No, I'm not look the same," but I feel like she's stuck in time. Johnny, when you look at Terry, and to me, I feel like that's love, Briana. Like, I feel like that's love to me when I look at her and I desire her, but then I love when we have her. So like the tiffs in life, we got to work it through. Like, that to me is love. Like, I feel like she's more physically attracted. I see you nodding. There's something to be, John, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm trying to say there? Like, I'm having a hard time.
I think my version of the description of that would be, you know, we don't know someone. We can only see what we see. So it's just literally from the no words, no nothing. You can literally you're seeing physical shit.
Yes.
Every word exchange, you start to get a deeper look into this person. And after time and trust and companionship, you're not really seeing the outside. The outside is just one piece of this complex puzzle. You're seeing inside, and that's what we're seeing. Is that right, Briana?
Yeah, that is hey, I've gotten to know them underneath that surface. I've seen behind their curtain. I know how they think, how they work, how they operate, and I have reverence for it. I love it. I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So that's when I talk about intimacy all the time. That's an intimacy that you have with her that's past the physical appearance. But I also talk about this. It feeds into how you perceive their physical appearance. This is often why attraction can grow. We can meet somebody and we think like, you know, whatever. And the next thing you know, we're looking at them as they sit across the table and thinking all these, you know, beautiful little thoughts in our head about how hot they are, how attracted to them we are. It can grow. There's a huge misconception about physical attractiveness and that it needs to hit you like a ton of bricks immediately. And if it doesn't, well, that's it. That's the only measurement. That's not true. So he has gotten to know Lauren on all these deeper levels. And in that, he found attractiveness. And that bleeds into how he perceives her physically. And that compatibility compounding over time, he's just appreciating and appreciating and appreciating it more. And so therefore, the spillover, all of it's growing. All of it's growing.
That's exact, because she'll say sometimes, "You don't like my quirks." And I'm like, "No, actually, I love your quirks because your quirks are actually what make me love you." And that's what I kind of find bizarre, because it's accepting of what does my wife drive me nuts sometimes, just like I drive her nuts? Of course. Right. But I love it. And because that's what makes me so fucking attracted to her. Does that make sense, Briana?
Yeah, and to have both, to have chemistry and compatibility, which is what you guys have, right?
Yes.
There's a couple of things that you're doing. One, I hear you talking about that you like her as a person.
Yes.
Like you would be friends with her, or you would choose her. Yes, you would choose her as a friend.
Yes.
or you would be comfortable, let's say, if you had a teenage kid and you're thinking of who is this kid going to end up with in their life? If it were my person, would I be okay with that? Knowing what I know, which is way more than a parent would ever know, right? Which is like absolutely everything, all of their wounds, the ugly, the bad, the trauma, the good, the hot, the beautiful. So, right. I hear that you actually would endorse this person and that you like them as a friend. You like them as a human.
Cool.
I hear all the time when I speak with people, right? They don't actually even like their partner. They might feel like they love them because they're with them in this sort of functional partnership, but from a liking them, are they who they want to spend, a weekend in silence with? Or if there was no sex at all removed, do you want to go to the cabin in the woods with them for 3 days? If you have an angst when I present that, right, we need to look into that, right? So yeah, you've got compatibility on your hands, no doubt.
Johnny, I can't imagine that question when Briana asked that couple sitting in front of her. Yeah, so why don't you guys go to the cabin and hang out this weekend? And then she both knows that they don't like each other. And they're both sitting there going, because that's an interesting topic, like versus love.
Oh, 100%. There are times where, like when Tara and I are in a rocky spot, I know she loves me, but in those moments, she doesn't really like me the same.
Yes. Yeah.
And sometimes I'll even have fun with it. I'm like, baby, I can tell. I know that you love me, but right now you're having a hard time with liking me, and I'm recognizing that, and I'm working back the other way. It's because it's it comes down to if I start missing shit, it makes her feel like she's not cared for, which then frustrates her and annoys her, and then it's like, oh, you fucker, well. I have to be a little bit more on top of that and make sure that I feed what makes her like me. Also, the love's never going to go away.
Yeah.
The like can be fucking, that shit can come and go by the day if you're a dickhead.
We talked last week about doing a series. Next week we're going to talk like versus love. And we're going to keep that conversation going. Briana, great conversation today. Petro says in the comments there, this is perhaps the most important conversation with Briana Bass, pure gold. I agree. And Dwayne Whitaker jumps in and says, you eventually see each other with the heart instead of the eyes. And I think that's something we don't know until we have age in life. Briana, last word to you on this topic.
Yeah, the eyes will come with the heart. And I think we think it's the other way around. So that's something to note, right? A last thing I'll say also on something that I see between you and Jon specifically on how to have both, how to have chemistry and how to have the compatibility piece. And this is the part that a lot of people, no one wants to hear, right? You have to remain someone worth being attracted to. So you and Jon have not stopped being interesting, stopped training, stopped,
who we are, the same people we are in the beginning.
Yeah, you all have an inner life, you have an identity, and you have ambition, and you have opinions, and you care to be thoughtful about your own inner and mental health from a therapy standpoint, all the things, conversations like this, right? You're curious. So no compatibility on earth or chemistry, right? Is going to keep your wife attracted to you for 30 years if you abandon everything about you. So you also need to be worth somebody remaining attracted to for both parties. And that's another way to keep the chemistry and the compatibility, specifically the chemistry, alive. So
I like that.
Look at that too.
I like that. Keep your worth. Briana, that's a fucking nugget, man.
Well, it goes right back to the whole thing of if you don't take care of yourself first, everything around you gonna fucking fall apart, including your relationship. I can't say how many guys I have come to me and they're fucking fat, they're tired, they've just lost who they are. And in that losing who they're about ready to lose their fucking wife, and that it's usually revealed once we get going. That's not something they reveal up front. And I'm like, dude, listen, you just got to get back to you. And what we're doing is a big piece of that. When you have energy and you actually, it's like you've aged 40 fucking years in the last decade. She's looking at you going, what happened to the guy I fell in love with? The guy I fell in love with wasn't fucking laying on the couch with a bunch of fucking Cheeto chip crumbs on his fucking shirt. You know,
are you compelling? I just want everyone to ask themselves that. Are you compelling? If we were at a party, it could be 5 people, all right, whatever. But are you compelling? Be compelling. Are you someone that people want to go talk with, to get into conversations with, that somebody wants to invite you to something, right? To have a village, I always say you need to be a villager. This is similar in the fact that if I want my partner to possess all these things, if I'm looking for these things, right, I also need, that's the first place that you could control the most. So you want the biggest bang for your buck, the fastest return on your investment would be you. Am I compelling anymore? Am I interesting? Do I have an identity? Do I have opinions? Do I have hobbies? Do I have community? Am I disgruntled all the time? Am I negative? Glass half empty? So on and so forth. I go on forever, right? If you're identifying with all of this, you are no longer that compelling.
Dude,
so please don't demand from your wife or your marriage that you have all this compatibility and especially this chemistry when you're not bringing it to the table yourself. So lead the way.
That's a tough conversation for a man to hear from you when that happens. Briana, you always drop nuggets every Tuesday. I appreciate you so much. Johnny, we'll say goodbye to Briana. We'll walk out of here. Before we do that, though, I think we got some vintage to put on the screen here. Hey, Kai, what's going on with this here?
Hey, clown. Did you guess my wife's weight?
Let's sure, one down. It's just a little bit too loud for us there. Let's that was a little bit of In Living Color. Homie, don't play that. The volume was too loud. Just a quick little comment. I don't know if you watched that show growing up, Briana, but if we put that show on TV today, people would be like, what? Like the language in the comments were crazy. But hey, Briana, Jon, before you guys go,
Hey, Jon, before you go, there's a mini goat named Karen tap dancing on solar panels like she's trying to power her attitude.
2-minute video. Owner screaming, "Get down!" And Karen's like, "Make me, motherfucker!" Just prancing panel to panel.
Staring at the camera like, "Record this, peasants. My hooves are renewable energy."
Meanwhile, the owner calls her a stupid goat, and Karen's unbothered, straight honey badger energy in a fluffy little body.
It's not even chaos, it's confidence. She's up there like, "These aren't your panels, sir. They're my stage."
Hey, Jon, before you go, tell us, what's your move when something ignores you that hard? Beg, bribe, or start plotting revenge?
I love it. Briana's driving me. Let's go. Look out.
I was just gonna say, there's Briana. So this is I know we usually do these funny light ones, Johnny, but I saw this. Is like, look at this goat man running on this guy's panels, and he's trying to get the thing down. And it's like, fuck you. I'm not coming off your panel.
I mean, that cute little thing, I'd say you stay up there as long as you want. You see the little guy start jumping like a bronco. I'm like, oh, that's the cutest thing ever.
That's awesome.
Right there. I love it. And I can sit there and watch that all day.
Well,
that little thing is just exuding joy.
He's happy. He's happy.
Yeah.
He's happy.
Don't take that away.
No, hey, Briana, Cheryl Whitaker says, my favorite Briana Bass conversation to date. So good. Hey, Cheryl, maybe you and Briana need to spend some time on the leadership show. Briana, Cheryl's got an awesome show. You guys need to connect, and I'd invite you to go over and see spend some time with Cheryl. Yeah,
I gotta say, there's no question, Tuesday has become my favorite day of the week, Briana. You're leading the charge here. It's always wonderful to see you and talk to you.
Yeah, me too. Don't tell Petro because he's listening, because he's on Fridays. But yeah, I agree.
Nudge, nudge.
Jesus Christ. Briana, lots of love, kid. Have an awesome day, okay? We'll see you around.
Great to see you, Briana.
All right, take care. Briana's out of here. Johnny, I'm with you, man. I really enjoyed that conversation. I learned so much. From you. I learned from her. I learned from myself when I listen. And then I'll be honest with you, man, I try to put things in practice, or else what's the point of not learning?
Well, right? It was all that fucking missing social exposure you had.
Oh, good. Petro said too, today's my favorite day too. So he's on the same board as us. Yeah. Okay, I got to get you out of here. I don't want to keep Ben waiting. I don't need a phone call from another smart dude to give me shit because I caught his boy holding him. So go have some fun with Ben. Say hi to him for me, and I'll talk to you in less than 22 hours. Okay, brother?
Have a good loop, my brother.
Have a good loop, my brother. Johnny's out of here. Good morning, everybody. Yes, I saw it. So, Cheryl, I was waiting for you to comment on Preston's shirt. Jimmy, let's put Preston up on screen if you can. Who's on the screen right now? Who's on the buttons? I got Jimmy on the buttons this morning. I don't know who's there, Jimmy or Kai, but yes, we are Adopt a Boomer. Dwayne, I don't know if you saw what's this morning on the show, but we got Preston. We got merch. Yes, I know Melissa wants us to get merch rocking here, but I got a few things that I'm working on. If you guys want an Adopt a Boomer shirt, we will have them for sale coming up very soon from our very own Preston Vale. He's started a merch business, and his first piece of merchandise is Adopt a Boomer. So those of you that are looking for your token boomer, we have one. Yeah, so we have him. His name is Dwayne Whitaker. Yeah, true story. Yeah, we love him here in the lab. So if you're looking for a boomer to join your party, to join your next event, to join any function, we have our very own boomer. Yeah, one of them, just one in the Mornings in the Lab community, and his name is Dwayne Whitaker. Yeah, true story. So if you guys want to know how to get a hold of Dwayne, just come text me and we all can get shirts. Hi, good morning, Charlie. I can see Dwayne just laughing at this one too. That is so good. Oh my! So I got to tell you guys, last week when Google dropped the brand new model, I sat down with the team and I gave them a challenge. I said, guys, it's time to raise the barrier. And I just want to say, you guys have heard me say it before. Jimmy, a lot of love, brother. Kai, Melissa, no kidding. Kai, a lot of love. Melissa, a lot of love. You guys are fucking rocking it, man, with some great content, keeping this show on its toes. And as I told you guys before, I don't know. I've purposely said to the team, keep me out of this. I want to be observant of the activities in real time like you all are. So it's funny. I had a call with a business guy last week on a business meeting, and we were talking. And I was like, yeah, this is why I don't meet people in advance, because I want to have organic conversations. And I want to learn things organically, because that to me is, yeah, Petro. Oh, the next one, rent a boomer. We have our very own Dwayne Whitaker. You can rent Dwayne for the day. And in a world of synthetic relationships, Dwayne will come out and hang out with you. Yeah, so anywhere in America, you can rent Dwayne. He'll show up. Rent a boomer. Or you can rent a BS professor with Dr. Jon Petruccelli. Okay, well, listen, I got an important monologue that I really want to get. I changed the whole thing. True story. I had one this morning. It was written, ready to rock and roll, ready to present. And what's going on, Rico? What am I chop suey? Oh, yes. Okay, we got to get. Oh, and actually, we know that Rico is actually older than Dwayne, Jimmy, and Kai. So we might have to get the rent a older boomer t-shirt with Rico. So you want your token boomer? We got the old, maybe we can call, actually, Rico, he's the grand boomer. There you go. We got your very own grand boomer named Sean. Rico, I love you, brother. You're so kind to us, and you're so kind to the show, and you're such a great support. Okay, I got a monologue, and it's come up because of the last 24 hours of my life. And we got Dwayne and Rico doing the fucking arm wrestle for who's going to own the baby boomer token. Listen, I had an entirely different monologue, and then I messaged Jimmy this morning. I said, Jimmy, call an audible. I said, I got a brand new monologue because I'm tired of carrying the CEOs of tomorrow with stuff that I know today, and I can only walk a horse to water so many times. And if the horse doesn't want to drink the water, I don't know. And Johnny said it best. I am probably the dummy for continuing to walk the same people to water. And if you don't want to drink the water, well, I'm just going to walk different people. So coming up in how many seconds? In 53 seconds, we're going to go check the flow out this morning. In 53 seconds, hold the horses. You guys ever called hold the horses? I can't keep carrying CEOs who refuse to learn the future. That monologue comes up in 53 seconds. Let's get after it, guys.
We're out of patience. We can't keep carrying leaders who refuse to learn what's coming.
A title doesn't equal direction. If we won't learn, our people spend their days translating the future for us.
My team handles it sounds strong. It's how we stay dependent and still pretend we're in charge.
The excuse is pride. We protect our image, then call the stall being thoughtful.
Meanwhile, the work moves without us. Tools run faster, decisions stack up, and we become the slowest part of the company.
That cost lands at home too. More pressure, less presence, and kids watching us choose comfort over growth.
We don't need to be technical. We need to be learners so we can ask better questions and stop dragging the room.
Chief's about to say it straight. If we lead, we learn. Morning begins here.
All right, coming up, guys, in about 17 minutes, I invite you to go check out Sarah Barnes-Humphrey's show, Thoughts and Coffee, if you guys are interested in the supply chain. And listen, not boring stuff in the supply chain. No, it's a great show. Sarah's hosting in 30 minutes right here on the network. So I'd invite you guys to go pop in, go say hi to Sarah. I know that Melissa's going to be on the buttons over there, so please go say hi and tune into Sarah's show and give some love and support to the Mornings in the Lab live authority network that we drop here. Our network runs Monday through Friday right here on mornings.network on the network over here. Yes, Sullivan. So the Knicks are kicking butt in the playoffs since Ewing and Mark Jackson's so good. Yeah, we kicked that off the top of the show there. Sullivan, I appreciate you, man. You are a great supporter of this show, and I got lots of love for the time you give us every single day. All right, guys, the monologue that I got to get something off my chest. And what I want to get off my chest goes like this. Some of you CEOs, some of you leaders, some of you who say you're thought leaders, and I'm frankly talking to all my people in my generation right now. Yep. You're becoming a liability to your own company. And I know that sounds harsh. Sorry, but actually, no, I'm not sorry. Because somebody needed to fucking say it. We're not talking about some cute little technology shift anymore. Nope, we are way fucking past that. And listen, if my language is going to offend you because it loses my credibility because they use the language, well, I'm sorry, but I want to make some emphasis because of what I'm talking about right now. Put the fucking chat GPT down. Put Claude away. Put the tools that you've been using for the last 3 years over there and pull out your wallet and pull out a new mindset. The days of getting stuff done are here. Not a dashboard. Not, okay, well, it wrote me the email. No, but did it send it for you? Did it close the loop for you? No? Well, then what the fuck are you doing? Because those tools are here today. We're not talking about AI will matter one day. No. We're talking about another app. We're not talking about another app. We're not talking about another tool. We're not talking about another shiny object. That's been the last 24 months. And listen, I'm going to speak about this through authority because I am doing it. I'm not just talking like I'm some 20-year-old talking about longevity. No, I'm sharing my experience with you. This is not just another software trend that your team can look into. If you as the CEO, if you as the leader, if you as the person driving your company is not using agents in your business today, go somewhere else. You're done. It's actually, if you're not spending probably $100 to $200 a day on tokens, you're done. Go get a job. Go get a fucking job. Period. I'll see you guys later. No, but I'm fucking serious. That window is closed. I had a meeting with a CEO yesterday. I said, hey, what's your tokens, man? He looked like me. I was fucking on Mars. Like, what? What? We are now living in a world of agentic workflows. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, call me. Seriously. And it's $1,000 an hour and it's going up. Seriously. Because systems that just don't answer questions anymore. No. They're executing them. They're researching them. They're drafting them. They're organizing them. They're triggering actions. They're moving work across departments. They're getting jobs done. DONE. They reduce friction. They remove waiting. They compress days into minutes. You know, there's a dude yesterday, CEO of ClickUp. And listen, I don't give a fuck what anybody says about CEOs making decisions about cutting staff. Good. They should be. You should be. And I'm not going to stand and go, but Keith, what about the humans? I don't care because somebody else is going to if I don't. Too many people are playing it too safe right now. I'm telling you right now. I've watched a dude cut 30% of his staff yesterday and then said to the other part of the staff, I'm giving you all $1 million salaries and I want you to go and token max the business. True story. because that's the reality of tomorrow. I want a person that can go max out productivity and move the business like this. The days of businesses like this, done. It is actually, we are now actually in the shit or get off the phase of business. If you're just dilly-dallying around and just kind of doing this and happy with your post here and your post here, stop. Stop. I'm telling you, you're fucking wasting your time. Because these agentic workflows, they compress days into minutes. Some leaders that I know are leaning in. Some are learning. Some are experimenting. Some are looking awkward for a season so they can be dangerous in the next one. I was talking to a guy yesterday who said to me, yeah, we're taking the next 6 months to transition. I was like, what? 6 months? Dude, I took a fucking Saturday afternoon in transition. But if you don't know the tools because you're too ignorant of them, you're being left behind. These agents are rebuilding how companies think, how they operate, how they sell, how they support, how they create, how they communicate. And then there's the other group, the head in the the head in the sand crowd. Yeah, the I'm not technical crowd. I had a CEO meeting yesterday with a fellow who's like, yeah, I'm my team. Could you imagine a chef? Could you imagine a chef of a restaurant? His restaurant, but they're building the recipes. What? No, but aren't you building them? This whole idea of my team handles that. Or we're going to look at AI next quarter. And I'm not talking about AI like we've been talking about for the last couple of years. No, we're talking, people like, is artificial general intelligence here? Yes. AGI is here. The biggest challenge that we have right now is your inability to use it. And that is why I believe so many don't. It's not uncommon for me to, somebody asked me yesterday, they said, so how many tokens do you spend every single day? I don't know, anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 a day. Like what? Yeah. And I'm not here to brag. I'm here to say because I'm getting stuff done. I'm getting stuff done, not just writing the post so that somebody else can do it for me. Let me be very clear. Your ignorance, and you know that I'm talking to you. Your ignorance is no longer charming. It's actually no longer acceptable. And I'm actually kind of even tired about it. Because right now, your ignorance is not leadership. Because here is the truth that you don't want to hear me say. I will not keep carrying you. Nope, I'm done with it. I'm done taking the phone calls and offering the free help because I've fucking walked you to the water too many times. Your team can't keep carrying you. Your consultants can't keep carrying you. Your younger employees can't keep dragging you into the future while you sit in meetings pretending this is optional. Because at some point, the person at the top has to get in the game. And it's funny. And it's not because you need to become a coder. I am not a coder. No, I speak to my agents like I'm talking to you right now. And they get the job done. Yes, they are that good. And not because you need to understand every model. You don't got to know about APIs. You got to know about every automation out there. And you don't even need to know about every agent, every workflow. You just need to know how to do this. Oh, you want to know how you need to know how to do? Communicate. That's it. Effectively communicate like you would communicate with an employee. Communicate well enough to ask smart questions. Communicate better enough to make better decisions. Communicate to know what's possible. Communicate to know enough to stop slowing down when everybody else is slowing down. And that is the part that nobody wants to say out loud. There are some companies that are not being held back by technology. I was accused yesterday of, well, yeah, but you guys are an AI company. I'm like, no, fuck, I'm just a company. Seriously. Some companies are not being held back by technology. No, your investment, the company you're at, is being held back by leaders who built success in one era and now think that success gives them permission to ignore the next one. And you are fucking wrong. You are being left behind every hour. That past success that you had, does not exempt you from future learning. In fact, if anything, it makes your responsibility bigger. Because the more the people that you lead, the more dangerous your resistance becomes. Think about this. Yeah, and Petro's right. Your ignorance will be his money because he's going to short your company. When a junior employee refuses to learn something, that affects their career. But when a CEO refuses to learn, it affects everybody. Payroll, customers, strategy, culture. And guys, let's not pretend this is about age. It's actually not. Because I know people in their 20s and their 30s who are already mentally retired. And I know leaders in their 60s who are attacking this with humility, with curiosity, and hunger. This is not an age gap thing, you guys. This is a courage gap. Oh, and but it's expensive. Yes, it is expensive. But business is expensive. Or go get a job. But stop wasting all the time in the middle in mediocrity. The world is separating really fast. Those that are building and spending, and those that are wavering in mediocrity. On one side, you have leaders who are willing to feel stupid for a while. Dude, I've been feeling stupid for the last 2 fucking years. In front of all of you. And you know what? I am willing to be a beginner again. I have been willing to admit, I don't know any of this, but I'm going to learn. I talked to a guy yesterday who's like, yeah, we are going to, we want to. I'm like, what the fuck? Why aren't we doing? On the other side, you got leaders that are protecting their image. Like, oh, I don't like that AI stuff. They don't want to. Like, no, it just looks all fake. They don't want to look behind. They don't want to ask basic questions. They don't want to even admit that the world has changed faster than they did. So you know what they do? They hide behind the delegation, behind the cynicism, behind it's strategy. We're taking our way to transition right now. They say, oh, we're watching the space. Fuck, man. I'm seeing some of the world's biggest companies make fast decisions. And I got these little companies saying, what? You're just pivoting right now? No, you're not. You're avoiding the work. You're avoiding the hard decisions. You're avoiding the fear of what you don't know because you don't want to put into the work. And that avoidance is not a strategy. This is where the shift has to happen. The CEO of the future cannot just be a decision maker. And this is what gets me. Oh my God, this is what gets me. The CEO of the future has to be a learning machine. He has to walk to the table with a suite of AI agents, a pattern recognizer, a systems thinker, a human translator between what technology can do and what people actually need. It's funny because as we're adding clients to our team, I'm going through the thought process in my head. What is the definition of an account manager in 2026 when an agent can do most of it? Because that is the job now. Those are the decisions we're making now. It's not about knowing everything. No, we have all the knowledge. It's about getting it done. But right now, as we transition through these phases of business, it's about making tough decisions. But to keep evolving fast enough that your company's not forced to work around you, because that is what's starting to happen in a lot of businesses. Teams quietly building around leaders who refuse to understand this, using tools that nobody knows about, moving faster in the shadows because the official leadership layer is just too slow. And if you're a leader listening to this right now, that should scare you. Because AI is coming for your job. That agent is coming for you. Because your unwillingness to learn is the problem. So, today, my invitation to you is this. You do not have to move perfectly right now, but you do have to move. And every day you do not move, you are getting left behind the guy who is moving, or the girl who is moving, or the company is moving. Because the leaders who learn this now are going to build companies with more speed, with more leverage, with more creativity and more adaptability than anything we've ever seen before. And it's all going to happen in a fucking afternoon. And that is the truth. How do I know? Because I'm doing it. And the leaders who keep resisting this through mediocrity of observing how the trends are happening, yeah, they're not going to be dramatically destroyed overnight. Nope, it's not how it happens. Just going to watch it happen quietly as we all fastly pass you. First, your company's going to become slower. And then you, Mr. Leader, you, Mrs. Leader, every single day, and I mean every single day, not every single month, week, or year. And if you're listening to me right now, I want you to hear me really clearly. Every single day, you are becoming slower and less relevant. Every single day, you are becoming harder to work for, harder to sell for, and harder to partner with because you're getting left behind. And then one day you're going to wake up and you're going to look around and go, hey, I got to talk to the handsome chief. And I'm going to say, yeah, it's now $10,000 an hour. Because the talent moved, the customers moved, the future has moved. And you're still sitting back using a chat bot that's creating content, but not getting it done. And that's the part. There's nobody waiting. So to the CEOs still pretending this is optional, wake up. Wake the motherfucking up, because you need to be in the future, not defending the past. And if you refuse to learn, fine. I started this off by saying I'm going to walk you to water, but if I can't make you drink, that's up to you. But if you refuse to learn, fine. But don't be surprised when the people who did stop asking you for your permission. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. Sarah Barnes-Humphrey is dropping right now live on the network. Thoughts and Coffee. Sarah Barnes-Humphrey and the gang. Some good content happening about supply chains. Guys, I'm wrapping my comments on this one. If you're tuning into this and you want to learn, the window with me is closing. And I mean that really sincerely. The window with me is closing. I will walk you guys to water, but I can't make you drink. And I will say this, budget for tokens. If you're not budgeting for tokens, you're not actually building your business. You're just wandering around in mediocrity. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, that's another reason to come talk to me. All right, nation, what a fun show here today. We had Seth Pepper hanging out with us. We wrapped up with Briana Bass. We had a bunch of great stuff happening on the show today. We talked about our token boomer, Rico, our token super boomer, his name, Rico, Dwayne Whitaker and the gang. But guys, I'm out of here. We're back tomorrow. I got to get my outro going here. I got to get out of here quickly because we got another show happening right now. So quickly, let's see here. Jimmy, I'm pulling up tomorrow's outro. We got somebody coming up tomorrow. We have Briana Bass here today. What a great conversation with Briana. So tomorrow we have Sophia Grant is bringing us Darren Mott. Oh, retired FBI cyber agent with 20 years and 2 days of service. He's going to come make one thing very clear. Most cyber attacks are not some guy in a hoodie. Nope, it's my mom knocking on your door saying, hey, can I get your password? We're going to talk about the AI-driven scams, TikTok risks, cybersecurity, hygiene, and a bunch of crazy shit happening tomorrow live. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. I got to get out of here. We'll see you guys in less than 24 hours right here on mornings.network. Jimmy, Kai, get me out of here.